Hi, I'm here now with Ksanati. We're going to be talking about the upcoming big Maharishi Parashara Conference. I'm really excited. I'm going to be speaking at again this November 21st. Is that the day I'm speaking?
On the 21st, that's correct.
Yeah, so excited for this. And it's an amazing conference. You got some really great people coming. Yeah, who's going to be speaking on the day I'm speaking?
On the day you're speaking, we have you, Ronnie Dreyer, Christina Escamilla, Simon Chikoisky, Dr. Pai, Joni Petrie, and Raman Suprajarama. So we have quite a stellar class that cast that day. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm really excited to be part of this. And I'm going to share, I have a little slideshow I want to share talking about a little bit of a taste of what I'm going to be talking about here. Just a moment.
Perfect. While you're doing that, I'll talk a little bit more about the conference. So, this is the fourth annual Maharishi Parashara Conference. It was originally kind of, inspired, gifted to me from one of my mentors, Dr. Dennis Harness, who wanted to retire from doing conferences. And he said, "Hey, can you take this over for me?" And it was kind of this post-COVID vibe where I just thought it would be best to take it purely virtual. And so that's what I did. And it's kind of had this beautiful evolution as a conference. And now I believe we're the largest international Jyotish conference. What that means is we have 34 faculty members from 11 different countries and 6 different continents with over 100 live attendees. And what that does is it encourage us to come up with the different theme this year. And a little bit about the theme this year is it's dispelling fear. The inspiration behind that is from Dr. Harness and I's keynote speech last year, where we discussed the therapeutic application of Jyotish. Because a lot of people come to us in our consultations with what I call Jyotish PTSD, which is a severe trauma response to doom and gloom based astrology, where we have monetarily focused remedial measures or things that are very sphere-based, whether it's Sati Sati, Nietzsche, Manglik, Vakri, Kalasarpa yoga, like whatever it is, uh, people are fear around it. Or there are these things that are very mysterious in Jyotish, and they're kept mysterious so that you go to the astrologer to relieve you of your suffering instead of actually explaining these things in thorough detail to relieve the mystery and the fear that surrounds that mystery. So,
Mm.
the inspiration around this conference is very near and dear to my heart. This theme of dispelling fear, and I really liked your title, Eclipsed Unity, Rahu-Ketu in the activation of the collective shadow, and how you're going to bring the theme into this lecture. So I
Yeah.
would love to hear more about it.
Okay, well, here, I'm just going to share. I hope this works. Do you see my screen share here? Here's an image of your flyer here, the flyer. People can see the dates. It's actually a 4-day long conference. So many great people. And there's even a coupon. We can come back to this coupon code for 10.8% off still. Okay. Um, yeah, and I just really appreciate the theme of the conference that you chose this year because I feel it's important. Right now, we're in a very transitional time. And I wanted to talk about the shadows, Rahu and Ketu, also because I've been doing a lot of work also in a program for Jungian depth psychology around shadow and collective shadow, but also personal shadow, and how we can work with this energy of fear, of splitting, of polarities and division to weave together in new ways, new patterns, new mapping through myth and through symbolism, which is something that Vedic astrology really offers, right? So let's see a movie here. This theme, Eclipsed Unity. Um, you know, as I was saying, we're under a lot of pressure in this time of history. And it's these historical cycles of eclipses, they come every 18 years through the zodiac. And there's this theme in Rahu and Ketu around duality, right? They are a pair, they're separated. So they bring in division. They help us see the differences, right, between one and the other. They create division between the rich and the poor, the right and the left, between us and them. And there's also within all of this energy of the eclipse, so much power to break free from these old patterns and really change. That's the transformative energy within them. So I'm going to be exploring Rahu and Ketu as an archetypal force that's been shaping our history, just looking back the last 100 years or so, and some of these, the eclipse cycle right now in Aquarius and Leo, how it's expressed in the past and how it's shaping us now as well. And this is just to get an understanding, because what we can see, what we can understand often helps us to integrate and work with what makes us afraid or what we push away, right? So yeah, there's a lot of energy right now, this Rahu in Aquarius, I feel, because Rahu does co-rule Aquarius with Saturn. And Ketu runs very hot in Leo. So, one thing about Rahu particularly is his bigness, right? He's very expansive. He's very image orientated as well. And so much of popular culture it's been moving more and more towards this direction of the persona, right? The mask. And also when Rahu gets strong, of course, this energy of image and illusion, politics, and that persona it's so highly rewarded, this illusion right now, this distortion. And so I wanted to look at, particularly, especially in the United States, I'm going to be looking at how this Rahu and Ketu influence this year particularly has hit the US politics and leaders too. So we'll be looking a little bit at that. Yeah, they're very dramatic. It's the most dramatic thing that can happen, really, in as far as regular astronomical experience on a collective level. The experience of an eclipse is truly archetypal. It's a liminal experience and it can bring up all sorts of fear, resistance, excitement. It's something that since ancient times has been connected to omens of change, falls of kings, war, and all sorts of calamities as well. So looking at how these eclipses do actually accelerate collective karma, exaggerate the collective shadow, in an effort to, in a sense, work through it or burn through stagnation, change, accelerate change, mix things up, agitate. On an outer level, as it changes status quo, as it changes how we are seeing ourselves in relation to the collective, right? But also even on the inner level, how it reveals inner secrets, uncovers things that we didn't know about ourselves or we didn't want to know. So there's so much in all of this facing of fear, bringing consciousness into the shadow, the light of consciousness, that can be such an amazing opportunity for expansion. And so yeah, some of my talk is going to be talking about uh, working with that, the chaya, the shadow, what we most fear, and what is also what we most need. Maybe sometimes on the other side, there's things within us that we just need to develop, we need to work on. So, yeah, what needs to be integrated? Um, and it does, it really calls for some inner work. And this is on the personal level, right? But what's really fascinating about eclipses is they are, Rahu and Ketu in particular, is they bring the political and the personal very close together too. There's a lot of patterns around feeling that like the colonized and the colonizer power dynamics, separating out what is authentic for you from what is happening outside, and how that what's happening outside is actually what's happening within you too. So it's a it's a very interesting study, and there's just so much healing potential actually for working with the shadow, for integrating in a compassionate way to help us, as Carl Jung talked about, integrating as a pathway to individuation of true authentic understanding. So yeah, it's part of the whole alchemical power of the eclipses of Rahu and Ketu to make transformation possible, to make us able to work with change and evolve and grow. Since time immemorable, it's always been this way. And so we'll be looking at how these, oh, and also, here's another slide. I don't know how much more I want to give because there's like, I want to give everything away in this talk, but I'll be talking about this idea, of course, of eclipsed unity, right? So how splitting is a natural phenomenon. It's like a part of what we do here in the duality of reality. And that splitting and division is actually the root of fear in many ways. It's what separates us from ourselves and from each other. What we reject is often what we have to integrate within ourselves. And so what can happen during the eclipses is there's this intensity of the need to integrate, but also the shadow becomes stronger when that happens. There's a resistance. And yeah, prejudices, right? Or projection, like I was talking about, intolerances, everything that's been happening around immigration in this country, for instance. There's a us versus them, black and white dynamic that naturally gets charged. And so working with the stories of Rahu and Ketu and the symbolism, working with your own chart and at this time is a way to help on a bigger level, all of us, to find a way to weave a new myth, a new pathway together. So we can have unity again in a new way. It's just needing to change. I think that's always what the underlying factor of the eclipses are about, is change, because change is inevitable. Yeah. I think that we should
Beautiful.
keep going. I think that's enough. I have more slides, but
That's a great start. Let's keep them hungry. But thank you for sharing this. This is right in alignment with the theme. I love you bringing the archetypes and the storytelling and duality and division and unity and all these concepts into understanding the nodes and eclipses, and very, very excited for this. For those of you who are still watching this video right now, her lecture is 8 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. on Friday, November 21st. And yeah, we hope you'll join us at parasharaconference.com. And again, for you can use this discount code Parashara for 10.8% off, or we also have one Anandashree for 10.8% off.
Oh,
And yeah, join us November 20th to the 24th. We have some other great astrologers, Sanjay and Sarbani Roth, Joni Petrie, Visti Larson, Sam Jeppy, Jeffrey Armstrong, Dennis Harness, Eve Mendoza, Dr. Arjun Pai. So we hope you'll join us in about a week as of the recording of this video for the Parashara Conference. And again, thank you, Anandashree, for having me here today to talk about it.
thank you so much. I'm so excited. See you soon.